Welcome to the real world. That was the message left on the front door of the Foreign Minister's house after someone took to it with a crowbar while his partner was inside without the Minister present. Chris Hipkins is a Labour Party leader with us this morning. He's already been out condemning this attack. Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, bit of a loser thing to do.
Oh, it's utterly unacceptable, and I absolutely condemn it. A politician's home shouldn't be a place of protest, and political violence is not okay. So I think this has black marks in two boxes for me. We should absolutely condemn it.
Yeah. The law that they want to pass and change so that you can't protest outside somebody's residence, somebody's home. Will Labor support that? Is that a good idea?
Look, we've had a lot of debate about this particular law because it'd be fair to say that whilst we're very sympathetic, I mean, I've had my own personal safety infringed by protesters in the last 4 or 5 years as a matter of public record. And I don't think politicians should have to put up with that. We also have to get the balance right here around free speech. You can't legislate for decency. So there's been a lot of discussion. This is a government that cancelled work on hate speech laws and is now saying it wants to pass a law to protect politicians. I think we need to be consistent here. We're either protecting people or we're not.
Okay, but what do you want to do about the protest law specifically? Should it be legal to go to outside Winston's house and wave banners outside his personal house?
There are issues. There are legitimate issues with banning protest in certain places. Free speech is important in a country like New Zealand. People shouldn't be protesting outside members of Parliament's houses or the mayor or the local councillor. I'd encourage people not to do that. But whether there should be a law against it, that is a different threshold.
Okay, is the threshold met in your eyes?
Not by the law as drafted by the current government, but we've always said to them we're open to having conversations with them about it.
Okay. Hey, what about young people, 18 and 19-year-olds? If their parents are earning 65 grand or whatever it is or more, they should be looking after them rather than the taxpayers footing the dole bill. Thoughts?
Well, the government should be focused on creating jobs. There's 36,000 fewer jobs now than there were when Christopher Luxon became Prime Minister. And young people do want jobs. They're just struggling to find them. So we've got to focus on making sure there are jobs for them to go into. Telling them that if you can't find a job, you need to move is an invitation that a lot of New Zealanders are taking up. And they're leaving the country. They're moving to Australia or further afield where they can find work. If we want people to stay in the country, we've got to make sure that there are jobs for them to do here.
Okay, fair enough. But in the meantime, will you reverse this policy?
We'll set out our policy on it before the next election. One of the things that I am very concerned about is that they've created effectively a cliff face where at a relatively low income, all financial support for those families stops. And that could potentially discourage the adults in those households from going and doing more work because it means that they'll be financially worse off by increasing the amount of work they're doing. That's not a policy that any government should be aiming for. We should be encouraging people to do more work, not less.
Okay. Now, given we have limited time, and I know you are a busy man too, I mean, I've got a whole bunch of things I was going to ask you about here, but the thing is, you haven't got policy yet, and I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste our audience's time. When will we know, when will you have policy we can actually ask you about? When will you be able to answer questions with, more definitively?
So we're going to be setting out some high-level economic strategies between the next month or two. Then we've got a tax policy, which we'll be releasing before the end of the year. And then we'll have 1 or 2 other policies before the end of the year as well. And then you'll expect to see more policy from us in the new year. We're heading into election year. That does mean that we'll be releasing more policy. But as I've said, there's still a lot that can change in 12 months. So we've got to be very careful that we don't promise things that we then subsequently find we can't deliver on.
All right, fair enough. So within the next month or two, we'll get some high-level strategies. Then by Christmas, we'll get the tax policy and a couple of other sprinkles before Christmas too.
Well, you'll get some policy for us that's about the longer term between now and Christmas. Some of the short-term things, we can't really make commitments on short-term political issues until we get closer to the election.
I get it. No,
the government's got a whole other budget to do between now and then.
Yeah. No. Hey, well, that means our chats might have to be a bit shorter for the next wee while, Chris.
Oh, no problem, Ryan.
Have a great day. Good to see you. Chris Hipkins,
Cheers.
Labour leader. It is 18 minutes away from 8. You're watching Herald.